My mom was born here, and then my granddad obviously had history in the city. Great coaching staff, great, atmosphere at games. Obviously, I want to be somewhere where I can see a lot of family and, on the weekends maybe go grab a bite to eat, at Uncle Stan's house or something like that, so.
This is the Pitino Show, hosted by Richard Pitino and Paul Fritschner, presented by Deer Park Roofing.
Welcome into another episode of the Pitino Show presented by Deer Park Roofing. I'm Paul Fritschner alongside the head coach of the Xavier Musketeers, Richard Pitino, over to my left. And in the middle today, as we continue our player spotlight series, it's Anthony Robinson. Anthony, great to have you on the show today. Great to have you here at Xavier. We'll get to you in just a second, but Coach, want to welcome you in as we get going again for another episode here as we continue to meet this roster that you've developed. What's maybe been the most impressive thing that you think of, all these interviews that we've done and hearing these stories, and some things that have stood out to you about your team so far that maybe you didn't know?
Yeah, I mean, I think the level of the professionalism, the way they handle themselves, certainly we're here to win games, but it makes you proud just that, we've brought a group of guys in here together who represent themselves well, represent this program the right way. So it's been, you spend a lot of time with them on the court, and it's cool to see them in different settings and see how they do, and they do a really good job.
Anthony, welcome to Xavier. Great to have you here. You spent 2 years at the University of Virginia, redshirted your first year, played this past season, and now you come here to the Musketeers. You are familiar with the city of Cincinnati, yes. And we're going to get to that because I spent a long time reading about the history of your grandfather, who was a phenomenal basketball player and a really rich history here in the city of Cincinnati. So get to that in just a second, but I want to start by asking you about your family and your connection here to Cincinnati, but also how you found yourself here at Xavier.
Okay, so my mom was born here, and then my granddad obviously had history in the city. So there's that, and then, great coaching staff, great environment, great, atmosphere at games I was able to see on the videos on my visit. Obviously, I want to be somewhere where I can see a lot of family and, on the weekends maybe go grab a bite to eat, at Uncle Stan's house or something like that. So just all those things really went into me coming here.
So your granddad was a Hall of Famer at the University of Cincinnati, I believe, correct?
Yes.
Played at the University of Cincinnati, also won a gold medal in the Olympics in the 60s at Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start there. The stories that he told you, how close were you with him, and what does his basketball history mean to your career?
So it was like probably my junior year of high school. I was in Cincinnati at his house, and I went into his trophy room because I'd never been in there because I was so young. I didn't want to mess anything up. I went into his trophy room, and I saw like all the things he did and he achieved, and he told me stories of like, with guys like Oscar Robertson and like Robertson and, those type of guys. And just like hearing that really motivated me to be like, something on the court, and then, obviously make my own story.
It doesn't hurt to have some championship lineage there, Coach.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you see just what they've accomplished. I mean, and as a young child to see that, and, you always look up to family members, and I'm sure it certainly motivated him.
Yeah, and your mom, a Hall of Famer as well, played volleyball, right?
Volleyball, Tennessee.
At Tennessee.
Yep.
So a competitive family.
Yeah.
Competitive family. What was your mom's influence on you in your career?
Mainly it was just her being there for me whenever times got hard, and then just always encouraging me. Cause like there's the recruiting process coming out of high school is like very hard, especially with the portal and stuff. So there was times where it wasn't looking so bright, and she was just there for me through that. And she kept pushing me, and she would tell me about her struggles and stuff going into college. And that really helped me get through like my first few years.
So when you say struggles recruiting out of the portal and high school and all that, do you mean because, as a high school student, it's just become harder maybe to find your footing with coaches and the portal and everything else?
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
Coach, I'll ask it from your perspective, because high school recruiting has dramatically changed in the last 4 or 5 years. How have you seen it evolve? Yeah,
you can get some pretty under-recruited kids that could be good players. Donovan Dent we got at New Mexico was not highly recruited. JT Toppin was Big 12 Player of the Year in New Mexico. I think it was us in Tulsa. Jovan True Washington, all of these guys that we went the high school ranks. I think the top 25 kids they're always going to be recruited. But the, 50 to 150 are not as highly recruited anymore. And you can really get some good value there. So, again, it's I struggle with the word recruiting. I don't know if it's recruiting anymore. I think it's more evaluating and deciding who you want to invest in. We still want to recruit high school kids. It just depends on what our level of investment will be with those guys moving forward. But you're definitely seeing a lot more high school players not have as many opportunities as before.
What has been your impression of the players that have maybe gone to a lower level, like a mid-major, but then you've seen them develop, you go and you identify them, you bring them up to the high major level? How has that I don't want to call it the minor leagues, but hate to say it, it is almost kind of that dynamic.
It's all kind of the minor leagues right now. Every level of it's a minor league. You may have the upper echelon minor leagues. And, the thing that disappoints me about what's going on now is you used to have locker rooms where all anybody talked about was going to the NBA. And that was everybody's dream. Now you're hearing more and more about NIL, which again, it's cool. But I want these guys dreaming of max contracts in the NBA and, playing at the highest possible level for 10, 15, 20 years. I'm not saying that the money isn't really good with NIL right now, but it's a lot better in the NBA, so it's changed a lot. My biggest thing with all of these players, because I had a lot of guys that helped us win in New Mexico and then move on, whether it was UCLA, Texas Tech, Miami, just help us win now. That's the way I look at it. And I always tell these guys, whether you're here 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, my hope is that we increase your value, whatever that may be. I hope he's here till the end. But, for us, help us win now. Let's help your career. Keep moving forward.
What do you hear in the locker room, Anthony, when you're hearing coach say stuff like that? I mean, it's got to be pretty similar to what you guys, wanting to get to the NBA, obviously, but still it's all, maybe where you're going next year, when the season ends, how does that all kind of go down?
I think with this group of guys, it's unique because whenever I talk to other friends and stuff that I have at other schools, it's a lot about NIL and stuff. But this group kind of has their eyes set on because he set the tone early of bring us success this year, focus on this year. So a lot of the guys are worried about winning something this year, doing big things this year. And then again, there's a lot of NIL talk around my other friends and stuff at other schools. This group is focused on the NBA. And it's it shouldn't be weird, but it's out of the ordinary for a group of guys to be so focused on the NBA.
It's amazing how quickly everything can just turn over.
And it used to be the frustrations of coaches was, hypothetically speaking, not saying this, but, Anthony thinks he's an NBA player. He's got no chance. Now it's the other way around. It's, let's say a guy's making $300,000. He thinks he should get $1 million. And it's just, it's this warped sense of reality. And what we just try to do is educate them the best we can. And it's okay to want money. It's okay to want to advance your career. None of that is wrong. Just understand, and Anthony said it, it's winning is what's going to get you there. You will not be on a winning team if you're not committed. You will not be on a winning team and on a biggest stage if you don't have great players and great chemistry and everybody bought in together. So it's a little bit of the chicken or the egg, but, the bottom line is if you're put on that stage and you have, I think it was Nick Sirianni said, you can't be great without the greatness of others. I really like that. I don't like the Philadelphia Eagles, but I like that because it will get you what you want if you win. I really, really believe that. Whether it's more NIL, whether it's NBA, whether it's you want to go somewhere else. We sat with Isaiah Walker and talked, and maybe his dream was to get to a Xavier. And he has a really good career at Belmont and poured a lot into that, and then he gets an opportunity to play in the Big East. So just help us win right now. That's the biggest thing I always look at.
Are you Giants or Jets?
Giants. Yeah, the Jets stink. Giants kind of stink too, though, right now. But always Giants and Yankees.
All right. Okay, so Anthony, I can look at your bio and I can see how tall it says you were at Virginia. But a lot of times things change in a year. How tall are you?
6'10".
Measured in at 6'10".
6'10", yep.
All right. What do you feel like you bring to the court to the best of your ability? What is something that you excel at that you feel like in your mind?
Effort, and then bringing energy, like shifting energy. If things aren't going well, I feel like I could, bring energy to the game.
Yeah. Coach, what did you see in him on tape, and what are you excited to see out of him this year?
He's a hard eval because he didn't play a lot, and he then played in a system that's substantially different than our system. We have all these advanced analytics. He didn't grade well in the advanced analytics. I'm not trying to crap. This is not crap on Anthony time. I think he's terrific, and I think we did a great job of sometimes ignoring those numbers, and ignoring and just saying, it's not like the Virginia guys don't know what they're doing, because I mean that's a program that's won national championship, but I just felt like for whatever the reason was, that was not the right fit for him. Anthony's been a top 3 guy this summer for us. Sometimes 1, sometimes 2. I mean, he's been right around there. He's been very, very consistent. So sometimes it's just change of scenery works. He can block shots. He can dominate the paint. He shoots the highest percentage shot often, which is a dunk. So plays with a really good motor. So I think the upside is huge. And I just think at Virginia, for whatever, maybe he's playing behind an older guy. So a little bit different than when you take like a mid-major player who's got the body of work and you're like, okay, can he make that jump? He was the other way around. And we had to call a lot of people within Virginia's, department. They all raved about him, because sometimes when guys don't play, it's like, does he not work hard? Is he lazy? And they're like, no, they all spoke very, very highly of him.
Deer Park Roofing has been providing elite service for homes and businesses since 1996 and leads the industry in professionalism, quality, and responsiveness. So whether your needs are residential or commercial, Deer Park can handle any job and ensure it's done right. Deer Park's motto is, protect what's important. And what's important to you is important to Deer Park Roofing. Visit deerparkroofing.com today. deerparkroofing.com.
A Fifth Third Better means we give 166.7%.
Who's a good boy, Parson?
I am good boy.
That's right. And why?
Because I bank a Fifth Third Better.
Wait, what?
5/3 equals 166.7%, so they put 166.7% into everything they do.
What is happening?
I'll tell you what's happening. Free checking, no hidden fees, and identity theft protection. Now, let's get rid of Cat, please.
What?
This is banking a Fifth Third Better.
Whenever a player commits here to Xavier, I try to put a little thread together on Twitter of stats, where they're from, few things to get to know the player and what they bring to the table, and then I'll try at the end to throw a YouTube clip in or highlight whatever. And so the first thing I went to, going back and watching your film, take an 8-second clip of you blocking the #1 pick in a draft. So I got to ask you about that. Do you hear about that a lot from your friends when Cooper Flagg tried to drive on you?
Yeah, I heard about it a lot for like the next 2 weeks. Like no matter how good we were playing, I heard about that like every game. And then coming here, I've heard a lot about it. Like the guy who blocked Cooper Flagg, But yeah.
We got to build on that resume.
Yeah,
that can't. He's a much better player than the guy who blocked Cooper Flagg. Yeah,
than one clip.
Yeah.
So I think, but watching the full extent of what you can do offensively and defensively with your size and athleticism, it to me jumped out right away. Like you could see the potential, and I don't have access to the analytics that you have, but just watching the raw footage of, and I know you would have liked to have played more this past season at Virginia than you did. But coach, to me, it feels like there is a ton of untapped potential sitting right here.
Oh, I mean, the old days, because he transferred, and again, you don't need to sign the dotted line right now, but the old days, you'd be like, man, you got him for 3 years and he's not going anywhere. Like you could have a guy who could play at the next level. I hope it works out that way, but you never know what the future holds. But the potential is, it's oozing every single day you see it. What we watched on film was, Virginia was not a high pick and roll team. We are a heavy pick and roll team. And every time he was put in that position where they would run some actions similar to what we would run, just a less percentage of the time, good things happen. Roll to the rim, dunk. He just didn't play a lot, but when we talk about the analytics part of it, one of the reasons he didn't grade out well is because the team didn't win. It was for whatever the reason. I'm not crapping on the team, but team didn't have a lot of wins. That helps your numbers. And then he only played, not a lot of minutes. So the more minutes he would have played, he would have had more rebounds. He would have had more stats. So we had to kind of turn a blind eye to that, and I'm happy we did.
I was going to say, how hard is that for you guys as a coaching staff in a 5-day window where you need to lock down a team and transfers, especially for you, where you're building an entire team here except for Roddy Anderson? How are you able to figure out what's important, watch the film, dissect all that, and then get him to commit?
Yeah, I would say it's not the ideal way to build a championship team. And, I'm going to pour my heart and soul and all my energy into doing that for these guys this year, but with an understanding of we're trying to build a foundation, and hopefully guys that we want to come back and they want to come back, we're not adding 11, 12, 13 guys. Maybe we're only adding 4 or 5 guys. And then that way it's not as much speed dating. But you take all the information you can get. I think advanced analytics are good, but it's not everything. It's just one component of what you look at. And then you just try to gather as much information as you can to make the most informed decision possible with the resources that you have to work with.
Anthony, how has it been over the summer playing in coach's system, a new system for you, but it seems like much quicker, up and down the court, fast-paced? Is that fun for you?
Yeah, at first it was very, very tiring, but as I've learned to, adjust my stamina, it's been great. I've enjoyed it for sure.
It's you guys get up and down the court.
Well, it's interesting. They all, whenever we sit in meetings with recruits, they all say the same thing. They want to run. They want to run. They want to run. They all say it. Nobody ever sits in my office on a visit in 13 years being a head coach and say, I want to play a slow style of play. They never say that. But when you start telling them to run, man, they start giving into fatigue. So, the summer is, again, I've said it a couple times, it's the appetizer. It's not the main course. It's not true reality. Where I can't wait is that middle of September where we can start to go like 5 times a week, and then fatigue becomes a factor. And then seeing guys fight through the fatigue, because that's the key. It's all of a sudden UConn scores on us and we get it out quick and our tank is not empty. And that just takes time to build. But guys are getting better and better and better. What's hard about the summer is you're only going about 3 times on the court, maybe 4 times a week. Then they're getting 2 days off, maybe 3 days off. We're going recruiting. And then they get out of shape again. So I'm looking forward to being around them a little bit more once kind of recruiting goes away and booster events and all these things, to where it's like we're really hunkering down. Then you're going to see the true player being in the best shape of their lives.
Deer Park Roofing has been providing elite service for homes and businesses since 1996 and leads the industry in professionalism, quality, and responsiveness. So whether your needs are residential or commercial, Deer Park can handle any job and ensure it's done right. Deer Park's motto is protect what's important, and what's important to you is important to Deer Park Roofing. Visit deerparkroofing.com today. deerparkroofing.com.
A Fifth Third Better means we give 166.7%.
Who's a good boy, Parson?
I am good boy.
That's right. And why?
Because I bank a Fifth Third Better.
Wait, what?
5/3 equals 166.7%, so they put 166.7% into everything they do.
Okay, what is happening?
I'll tell you what's happening. Free checking, no hidden fees, and identity theft protection. Now, let's get rid of cat, please.
What?
This is banking a Fifth Third Better.
The journey to move medicine forward takes an unwavering commitment to solving complex patient care. Innovative thinkers driven to change lives. A therapeutically focused contract research organization. A diverse team committed to comprehensive patient care. All leading to successful drug approval. Join the CTI team on our journey to move medicine forward.
How do you balance that now with this new college basketball schedule? If it pretty much being a full 12-month season, 10 months really, starting June, whatever you're able to practice. Used to be you could maybe practice with a personal trainer 10, 15 years ago, how it always was. You used a personal trainer, whatever, maybe saw your coach a little bit over the summer, had some strength and conditioning. Now you're essentially able to practice over the summer, and like you said, not as much. But how do you balance that fatigue and stretching it out over the whole season?
I think experience helps in that. I mean, as I've said before, I'm only 42, but I'm a very experienced head coach. And I know it's a marathon. I don't walk out on the court anymore. And I think early in my career, it was to show these guys I knew what I was doing. Like, I don't care if Anthony thinks I know what I'm doing. Like, I know what I'm doing. I'm confident in myself. So I just want our guys to be ready November 3rd. And then I want them to be playing their best basketball as the season progresses. So, I'll take a July 15th workout with the understanding of we got time. Where maybe early in my career I didn't do that. These guys work. Like the modern day athlete works on their game outside of us a lot more than maybe early in the career. Now, they don't play as much, but they will get in the gym. They'll work on their game. So, we have an understanding of that. But again, it's I want them fresh for those 31, 32 games.
Yeah. What stood out to you about Coach Pitino in the recruiting process?
We were sitting there watching film on the Zoom, and he seemed like really passionate about like just the game, and like he knew what he was doing. He had all the stats and stuff pulled up, like evidence of like he loves this game, and he's been a great name in the game. So, I'm trying to obviously, do big things. So why not go under a coach that's like got that? What
have you heard about the Big East playing in all these venues and fan bases, Madison Square Garden, all of that? What have you heard about the Big East?
I've heard that just like the energy's crazy. And I like to play in environments where the energy's crazy. So I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah, it's a special place, a lot of special places in this conference and fan bases that truly passionately care about the sport. That's the coolest thing to me about the conference is, you said it a million times, no football. This is an opportunity to put every resource that you have into basketball and make it the best. Yeah,
I mean, and there, for the most part, besides UConn, similar small private Catholic schools with no football. UConn's got football. But it's just, I mean, I went to a private Catholic school in Providence College, and the fall was great and all, but like you were foaming at the mouth for basketball season, for something to do and to be a part of. And so it's a different dynamic for sure. I mean, everywhere I've worked, whether an assistant or a head coach, it's been football schools. So this is unique. But the support that they get, because the people supporting are not pulled in a million different directions. We have other sports certainly that matter here, but it's pretty unique. I mean, you spend a day with us, the amount of managers, GAs, nutrition, all those things that are at their disposal, like you don't get everywhere else. And that's why you come to a Big East school.
Anthony, let's go off the court a little bit. What do you do on a day off? What do you like to do?
I would wake up, read a little bit in the morning, go grab a bite to eat. Probably I would make my way to Panda Express.
Or in the morning? You would eat it?
No, not in the morning.
Jeez.
In the morning, probably like Waffle House or something like that. But
do we have Waffle House here?
It's like 10 minutes away.
All right.
Oh, yeah. You a Waffle House guy?
No.
Never been?
No, I've been. That's a big down
Slam?
south. It's a big down south deal.
Yeah.
I'm not a big breakfast guy.
No.
I'll ease into the day, but I can't. As you get older, stomach can't handle that.
No, I'm a cereal guy, but Waffle House.
Waffle House, yeah.
You get Grand Slam?
Nah, I go patty melt bowl and then 2 waffles.
All right.
That's the way to go.
Load it up with all that butter and then just go in syrup.
Got to. Yeah. That's the only way to do
So
it.
on a Saturday with no workout, what time are you waking up?
Probably like 11.
Unbelievable. I can't get past 6:15.
Yeah.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
Probably like 11.
Yeah.
This past Saturday, what? Woke up at like 12:30.
Wow.
Something pretty late.
That's great. What time you go to bed?
Like 1, maybe.
Oof, I can't make it a 1 either. That was the hardest part about the Mountain West. So you had so many late games. I mean, like, by the time your game was done, you were like, man, I'm tired.
Yeah. Travel to everything else.
Yeah.
Being here in Cincinnati and experiencing out, living here, you said, you visit here with your family, but living here, what have you been able to do? Get out and see in the city?
I went to the aquarium.
Over in Newport?
Yeah. And then, Topgolf's pretty cool, but that's everywhere. But a few museums, went to a Reds game. Saw them throw the first pitch. Pretty good job.
There we go.
Above average.
Yeah. Jack, too.
Yeah.
All right, Anthony, before we wrap up here, anything else? I've asked every player this. Anything else that you want the Xavier fans to know about you or that you're excited to see this year at the Cintas Center?
Just looking forward to big games and big wins. So
I like that.
Yeah.
Straight to the point.
It's a good way to end.
For Coach Pitino, for Anthony, I'm Paul Fritschner signing off. Thanks to everybody for watching. As always, make sure you subscribe wherever you're watching or listening to this right now, and we'll talk to you next time on the Pitino Show presented by Deer Park Roofing.